It's a very troubling story. However, in local news, a referendum in Stoke-on-Trent has seen the elected mayor of the city replaced. The referendum conducted saw a monumental change in Stoke's council.
We sent our reporter Robert Brown to the heart of the city to tell us more about this development.
I am here at the Civic Centre in Stoke, the scene of the conflict over the decision to replace the role of the elected mayor just 6 years after the role was implemented.
Only 20% of eligible voters turned out, but there still seemed to be strong public support towards having a council leader in the city. Over 20,000 people voted to replace the mayor, whereas less than 15,000 voters backed the current system. It is thought that a council leader will give the public more input into how the council is run.
I interviewed Councillor Peter Bagley and got his thoughts.
We went back in 2002 to some kind of prehistoric notion of divine rights of kings, you know, having everything vested in some kind of big daddy who was called the elected mayor.
What are the key differences between the council leader and the mayor?
The elected leader can be de-elected at any time during his or her 4-year period of office. That is certainly not true for an elected mayor. If you get an elected mayor, you've got that mayor for 4 years.
I also got a statement from Councillor Jane Bell, who represents the Labour Party in Longton, and she had this to say about the referendum result.
I supported the mayor and cabinet system. This was nothing to do with party politics. If there was an elected mayor, the public would have elected him or her. They could have belonged to any party or none, but it would have been more democratic that elected member choosing a leader. A mayor or council leader with a political affiliation could be seen to favour members of their own party, with cabinet seats, chairs, etc. The public will have less say in how the council is run, as it will be elected members who choose the leader. If it were a mayor, the public would have selected that person every 4 years. That is basically the difference between a leader and mayor. The mayor issue is uniting the council. I think the public has forgotten the issues that originally made us decide to change the system. I think it is extremely disappointing that so few of the electorate have to vote on an issue which is so important for the future of our city. It will be very difficult for the new leader to unite a council with such diverse, and in some cases extreme politics. All of us, including those of us who oppose the system, have to work together for the good of this city.
Is the battle really over, and will the problems facing the city ever get solved? This is Robert Brown for KMTV News. Back to you in the studio.
A definite victory for democracy there. And to our next story, with the exciting release of the new James Bond film Quantum of Solace, we decided to give Victoria a mission of her own, to find out whether the film was actually made for entertainment or for the purposes of product placement. Over to you, Victoria.
Thank you, Michael. The success of the Bond franchise has seen a record-breaking number of companies using the 007 name to advertise their products, with over $50 million spent on advertising. Has product placement gone one step too far?
This man and I have some unfinished business.
The first thing you should know about us is that we have people everywhere.
What the hell is this organisation, Bond? How can they be everywhere and we know nothing about them?
The previous record for earnings from product placement was held by Die Another Day after £44 million was spent. It was so full of plugs for 20 products that at times it resembled a big-budget Argus advert and was dubbed Buy Another Day by the critics. Bond not only has a license to kill, he has a license to sell. Before the feature film even begins, fans are bombarded with James Bond advertising product after product for half an hour, from FC UK suits to Virgin Atlantic Airlines and Sony HD TVs to champagne. So what is it about The Spy Who Loved Me that makes him such a golden buy? Bond's sleek, sophisticated, shaken not stirred persona and 00 agent status make him the perfect tool to sell numerous products. Even the Bond girls are getting in on the action, with the launch of Avon's Bond Girl 007 fragrance starring Gemma Arterton and the Heineken beer campaign with Olga Kurylenko. Dirk Hendrickson, a global brand director for Coca-Cola Zero, says Quantum of Solace is without a doubt one of this year's most anticipated film releases, and we are very excited to be part of it. Coke Zero and Bond share an edgy persona and a global fan base, making it the perfect partnership. Coca-Cola renamed Coke Zero to Coke 007 to try and promote the ultimate blow Coke, with sleek back bottles covered with classic gun barrel logo. The advertising campaign includes a TV advert mimicking a Bond intro, beginning with the familiar gun barrel sequence, and Bond walking through the barren landscape, with car chases and fights before he eventually wins the girl and Coke. The music for the advert is by Jack White, one of the singers of Quantum of Solace theme song. Bond is aimed at young men with its fancy gadgets and electronics in all shapes and sizes, the latest of which is the Sony Ericsson Cybershot. Sony has taken product placement to a whole new level, using its ownership of MGM Studios, which produced the Bond movies. It secured the same prominence on screen as Daniel Craig. Every laptop, LCD screen and mobile shown in the movie is manufactured by Sony. It is not just Sony that have taken over the big screen. Ford have included the usual Aston Martin in full view, but also the KA. Olga Kurylenko is seen driving around the streets in an attempt to attract young female viewers. The most recent advertising blunder was in Casino Royale, comparing an Amiga Seamaster to a Rolex, and has gone down in history.
Former SAS types with easy smiles and expensive watches. Rolex?
Amiga.
Beautiful.
Should fans be pleased that producers have done away with the one-liners and replaced them with long sweeping shots of numerous products? And the gadgets, with so many products packed into the movie, is it really a movie or is it an advert? Are blockbusters being threatened by the increasing product placement? Lee Bradshaw from Keele University Marketing Department says, as movie budgets rise, filmmakers are increasingly looking to meet these budgets, and selling space within the film for product placement appears to be an effective solution for both advertisers and movie product companies.
The name's Bond. James Bond.
It seems the future